Ask Tom on Home Show.
Sandhya from Northwest Houston needs a little builder advice.
Yeah, they need your help, Tom. They're a first-time build on your lot project, and they've run into a little bit of a hurdle. Sandhya writes, we are receiving bids ranging from $140 to $160 per square foot. Here's the question. Is it standard for a builder to charge per square foot for heated, cooled, or square footage of the house? We worked with the builder for almost a year, and we're 4 days away from closing when he increased the bid by $40,000 due to the lumber cost. Now we don't feel we can trust him. So now we're looking for a new builder. Any advice on this, Tom?
No, I think he has to. Well, I have a lot of advice and comments. I think more comments than anything. He has to. If he doesn't, he'll go broke. And why would you force someone into working for you and they don't make a penny? It just happened, and everybody's regretful of it. The builder would still like to have made his money no matter what the cost of the house was, and now he can't unless he raises for the price of materials. So if you don't trust him because of that, I call him a good builder, because instead of going bankrupt and going out of business and then all his clients get hurt, including you, I just as soon him tell you the truth up front. So I take exception to what that comment was and say he is being very truthful with you. He could have taken your money and run, and those are the builders you got to watch out for that say yes to everything. So that's the way it goes. Now, $145 to $160 a square foot. When I was building 10 years ago, I was charging $150 and up because that's what it was costing with all the. Now, my clients had very expensive tastes with the granites and the cabinets and all that stuff. But it's not out of line as far as the per square foot cost. But here's the thing about per square foot cost. People think it's only air conditioned cost. Well, a garage, porches, and everything else, porte-cocheres and foyers that are open, all these front areas, they're square footage too. It's actually more expensive to build a big, beautiful covered porch than an air-conditioned bedroom. An air-conditioned bedroom has walls with some sheetrock and an air conditioning duct. A porch has to be all weatherproofed. It has to be all done in trim and paint and different types of materials. It's got roofing over the top of it that's extra, where your bedroom's just stuck in the house somewhere. It's actually more expensive, so get away from this air-conditioned space. It's total square footage if they're playing honest with you. And that's just the way it is, and I used to tell my clients that, and I'd lose some because they think they only had to pay for air-conditioned space. But the fact of the matter is, just like a gentleman came to me once, and I'll end it with this, he said, Tom, you're building my house. I need about 500 feet of fence out back. Can't you just throw that in for no cost? I said, no. And he was not happy with me. But that cost money too. So nothing is free. You have to pay for whatever the scope of the project is. And the guy being up front with you at the beginning before you sign a contract, my hat's off to him.
Well, and we talked earlier during our back on Thursday on our Facebook Live show about how lumber prices spiked up and they come down. They're not going to come down all the way just yet, but they've come down a lot. And I'd be surprised if it was that kind of bump for where prices have come down to now on it. But to your point, Tom, you can't be expected to do business at a loss.
No. And he's just covering himself for now. Now, if the prices go down, maybe you can talk to him and say, well, if the prices go down, can we readjust?
That's my question.
I would do that if I was a builder.
Exactly.
But he can't make that decision based on, and we were talking about an article from the Wall Street Journal. I would not take a business decision and take a $40,000 loss based on an article written in any newspaper today. It's a guide. Okay?
Wow.
Fake news. I don't know.
Fake building news. Is that what you're saying?
Okay. Yes. You can't risk your business. You can readjust and be honest with them.
Well, I mean,
the
article Tom's referencing talked about how Weyerhaeuser is trying to peg where the price is going to land, and so are other distributors. And one of the challenges is that the cutters, the sawyers as they call them up in Canada, that are cutting the trees are still dealing with COVID and those problems, and that's creating a bottleneck in production. So who knows where the wood price is going to land now. But like you say, I'd rather have a builder who's up front with me like that than somebody who's going to surprise me later, or worse, they find
walk
some
from the
kind
job.
of bad lumber somewhere just to finish the job at the same price,
Yeah,
like
or
stuff
walk
that
from
comes
it.
in on a boat from somewhere, if you know what I mean.
On a boat, yes, I do. Doesn't come from a boat from Canada, I don't think.
No, the boats
But
don't come
remember,
from-
the word is speculation.
No.
And that's all people can go by.
Now, I remember when I grew up in New England, and we learned about the St. Lawrence Seaway, but that's not what they're talking about.
Oh,
They didn't
that's
come down
a
that
little
way, right?
different.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. You got a question? Go to HomeShowRadio.com. Click on the Ask Tom button right there, and we will help you out. Tom will answer your question. You can send us videos. You can send us your questions. You can send us anything you want. We'll take care of you and post your video like we do every day because Tom wants to help people, and we do it every day at HomeShowRadio.com, our Facebook page, and our YouTube channel.